Hey, good morning. Good morning on this day, Saturday, July the 5th. Hey, this morning, the message I'm addressing, the people, be it a preacher, be it a parishioner, the one that knows they're out of order, the one that know the truth, yet don't repent, just, doing what they want to do. A lot of people, I get to the preachers eventually, but a lot of people are what I like to call spiritually lazy. Like, the things you need to do. The Bible, that's a tool given to us to read and for understanding, for encouragement, for conviction. Yet many people don't open the Bible. They may open it on Sunday at church, maybe. A lot of times the preacher, he'll give what is called a text, and then you'll go from there. I can speak on it. I was once that person. I went years without opening the Bible at home. I may open it at church. I may even take it to church. I may not even have taken it to church, you know. And a lot of people, they won't say it, but not only are they spiritually lazy, they're embarrassed. They're more concerned about what people think of them, because being a follower of Yahuwah, the Most High, being a follower of His Son, the Messiah, Yahusha, it's not cool. You know what I'm saying? It's not cool. They're more concerned with their image, and it not being reflective of a follower of the Most High. And that's disgusting. That's sickening. In the Bible, it says that if you be ashamed of me, he said that he'll be ashamed of you. And I don't know about you, but on judgment, I do not want to hear the words, depart from me, I know you not. Like, I don't want to hear that. But that's what's going to happen if you all continue to be ashamed of the person you claim to follow and title and name, but your lifestyle, your actions says otherwise. We gotta get it together. Time is running out, man. It's running out. You're gonna be like, you shoulda, coulda, woulda, but it's gonna be too late. You gotta change now while you still have time. All right, you gotta get it together. We all gotta get it together. This thing here, and a lot of people, what it is too, they know the cost and they don't want to pay it. They know things that they're gonna have to give up. What Luke 9, chapter 23, if any man wants to follow after me, they must first deny themselves. They don't want to, a lot of people don't want to deny themselves. They're about pleasing themselves rather than pleasing the Most High. They're rather about pleasing themselves and what they want. Now, sure, if it's something they want that they feel the need, they got to go to the Most High. They'll go to him then, like he's their pagan, Santa Claus or whatever. But as far as pleasing him, doing his will, the things that he wants, they ain't trying to do that. You got to change. All that has to change. And for the preachers, a lot of you all know the truth. Some of you study the Bible. Some of you is this form and fashion, show enough. But you know the truth, but yet and still, you're more concerned about securing the bag than securing or loving the people enough to make sure they get the truth, feeding the souls of your members. You don't want to be fired. You don't want them to be stepped down from the pulpit. If they was to make a decree, a law to stop the salaries, like paying salaries to preachers in church, a lot of you all, I'm just going to be blunt, you would lose your shit if they stop that, because you're not relying on Yah, the Most High, to supply your needs like you should. You preach that to the members, bills need paid, this, that, and the third. What you tell them? Pray about it. Fast. You tell them to do that, but you not doing it. You got that mentality, don't do as I say, don't do as I do as I say mentality. I don't know how some of these preachers, like one social media content creator, I can't think of who it was, but they were saying how it should be sickening to some of the preachers, especially who's so-called church building, let's say it's in the hood, right? Members, barely making it. Some of them on government assistance and that. And he feel no way about it. Ain't changed nothing in the hood. Ain't contribute a dime to the community that he's in. But he's driving around in a current year car, living in a nice house, all this. But his members, but the community that he live in, I can't see the Messiah being all right with that. I can't see that. You shouldn't be able to see that either. Something inside you, if you had the spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh, not the evil spirit, like a lot of y'all, I'm talking about the spirit of Yah, it should convict you. You should be convicted. And this whole thing with the tithes, the Bible defines tithing a whole different way than what a lot of these preachers, these churches tell you what tithing is. Donating clothes, food and stuff to the shelters, feeding the homeless, feeding the hungry. I'm not saying taking clothes and stuff to the Salvation Army or thrift store. That's good too, but then they're gonna turn around and sell it. I'm talking about taking stuff to the shelter. Someone is in need, paying their light bill or electric bill for that month, helping out with their mortgage or whatever, if they're in need, things like that. That's more in line with what the word spoke on tithing. The Levites, give to the Levites, hungry food and stuff. But the preacher, he wants you to get at him, line his pockets, fatten his pockets up. His mentality, my mortgage need to be paid too. What? Man, if they took away salary from these pastors, I'm trying to tell you, I'm a man of a certain age, and I remember when preachers did not get a salary. They got a token, an offering, a plate for the pastor, a plate for the church. That was it. When they incorporated salary, these preachers came out the woodworks, yo. I'm trying to tell you. Leandra Johnson, I don't know, you may feel a way about her, but I remember her putting it out. She said, it's very lucrative. That's why you see a lot of these so-called not even circular, they act like they're circular, gospel artists, they all turn preachers and pastors and stuff. It's very lucrative. And it's also a way to hide money to avoid paying taxes. That's a whole nother teaching right there. But bottom line, be it preacher, be it just a member in the church, or a person who claims to know Yah, who claims to know the truth, profess to be a follower, what they call them Christian. Well, that's to be Christ-like, and you're not acting like Christ. That should be convicting. You're acting more like the adversary than Christ, but you bear the name Christian, Christ-like. You're so not like Christ.